tell yourself you are going to embrace that imperfection all day long, but the truth is, you've got a problem that hinders you from using your home to the fullest. When you invite people over, you can't take care of them the way you want. You can't even take care of yourself the way you want. Being content with where you are makes you a lot happier, but it doesn't help you figure out why your home isn't working for you or understand why your room still doesn't look quite right. Just because we know perfection isn't the goal doesn't mean we don't long for and need function and beauty. More style, less stuff. So back to me and my fixer-upper. It was the first house we'd purchased in almost 10 years, and also the smallest home we'd lived in for a while. And this time, I decided I wanted to do it right. I wanted to approach this house with a clear mind and not get distracted by pretty throw rugs before it was time. And lucky for me, since I also write about my home online, I had an audience. I could no longer get away with endless temporary fixes and complaining about all the upgrades we weren't allowed to do because we were renting, and those dumb landlords wouldn't even let us repaint a wall. Now we were the dumb landlords, and the sky was the limit, which meant everything was an option, and I was suddenly overwhelmed. I needed a logical approach to decorating that solved all sorts of issues. First, I needed to incorporate the stuff I already had. This is real life. There would be no buying all new furniture like they do on TV. I needed to decide where to focus a limited budget, and I desperately needed to free myself of the secret decorative hoard I'd been moving from house to house for years, in the hope of one day maybe possibly using it. Yep. All that time I was learning to find contentment in our rental homes, I was also saving up a 2-car garage full of cheaply bought cute decor in case we might possibly need it in our forever home. When we moved to our new/old house, I had to store everything for a year in a glorified outbuilding where mouse and rust destroyed. I thought I was doing myself a favor by saving all that stuff. But in many ways, I was making my life a lot more difficult than it needed to be, all in the name of being a good steward of thrifted finds. There I was with 1,000 design decisions to make, an audience watching, and a meager budget. I had a little white house just waiting to be made into a home, and finally, no landlord telling me what I wasn't allowed to change. I needed a plan. It's tempting to believe that finding your own style, giving it a clever name like shabby, eclectic, steampunk bungalow, and then searching those words on Pinterest will solve all your decorating problems. Ask me how I know that doesn't work. Instead, I realized that I needed to decide on my approach and then allow my style to come through from there. I'm a busy mom with 3 teenage boys, a big hairy dog, and a husband who works outside and has 12 pairs of large, dirty boots. I like pretty things, but not so much that they're allowed to make my life more complicated. I needed to know where to focus my time and money, what to keep, and above all, what to get rid of, all based on what I loved and how our family lived. I needed more style with less stuff, and along the way, I realized less stuff gave way to more life. I didn't have time to dust pretend plants, babysit delicate throw pillows, or stand guard over a pristine sofa. I needed a foolproof method I could trust to help me make decisions. Then, I needed to apply it and be done enough to relax and finally use our home the way I'd always hoped. But I also wanted all the pretty layers and storied goodness a well-lived-in home has to offer. Give me all the pillows and cushy throws. But watch out. I had some sort of internal threshold, and as quickly as I placed that last plump pillow on my sofa, the clouds cleared away from the full moon, my upper lip bleach job faded away, and I got that crazed look in my eyes and declared that I wanted to burn it all down and keep every surface in our house empty from here on out, or else. In reality, I longed for a home that allowed for messes like too many throw pillows, tons of boot storage,